Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Mr. Isaac's math class. Well, this evening we're going to be discussing something very important. We're going to be looking at names of fractions. Now, I wanted to look at these fractions on your screen. What name do you call them? What names do you call these fractions? 7 out of 7 all over 10, 3 all over 5, 4 all over 7. Is that the name you've been calling them before? Oh, so did you care for once to confirm whether or not those names were correct? So today we are going to learn how to call fractions by their names. So when naming a fraction, the numerator is called first, and simply as you would a whole number. When naming a fraction, the numerator of that fraction is called first. Remember, the numerator is the number above, number on top is called first. And you call it as simply as you see it. Whatever you see there, that's what you call it. But what about the denominator? The denominator is called last. And very important thing about denominators of fractions, apart from 2, every other denominator goes by its ordinal number equivalence. I'm going to give you some examples to illustrate what I mean by that, so you don't have to worry. Now, the first set of fractions we're going to look at, we call them halves. Halves are fractions with a denominator of 2. So every fraction with a denominator of 2 is a half. We call it a half. So look at this, for example. Look at the fraction on your screen. There's 1 on top and there's 2 down. So we call it 1 half. That 1 is the numerator on top, and that half is coming because the denominator is 2. Now, what about this one on your screen? What do you call it? This is 2 halves. The numerator is 2, the denominator is 2. Since the numerator is 2, we call it half. And the numerator is 2, we call it 2. So the fraction is called 2 halves. Can we look at some more halves? Let's look at some more halves. What do you call this fraction? There's 3 up and there's 2 down. This is 3 halves. Now, what if I changed the 3 on top and I made it 4? What would you call it? What would you call it? Let's see. Oh, we'll call it 4 halves. Okay, so when the numerator is 4 and the denominator is 2, you call it 4 halves. All the fractions with a denominator of 2 are called halves. Now, what if a fraction has a denominator of 3? What do we call them? Thirds. Wonderful. Fractions with a denominator of 3 are called thirds. All right, so look at this one. This is 1/3. 1 is up, we call it 1. 3 is down, we call it third. So this is 1/3, and this is 2/3. Beautiful. Now, what if I replaced on top, I put 3, that's 3/3. And if I put 4 up, what will I call it? What will you call it? 4/3. That's beautiful. So all fractions with a denominator of 3, they are called thirds, either 1/3 or 2/3 or 3/3 or 4/3 or 5/3, like that, in that order. Now, pause for a minute and think. What about a fraction with a denominator of 4? What do we call it? What do we call a fraction with a denominator of 4? They are called fourths or quarters. Fourths or quarters are fractions whose denominator is 4. And the very first member of that family is 1 divided by 4, and is called 1/4 or 1/4. 1/4 or 1/4. quarter. Now, what if I have 2 up and I have 4 down? What are you going to call it? Right, 2/4 or 2/4. It is that simple. It is, in fact, that simple. So fractions with the denominator of 4 are called fourths. And it's not hard at all to remember that. Now, what about other fractions? What if a denominator of 5? They are called fifths. 6, sixths. If it is 7, it's sevenths. If it's 8, it's eighths. Ninths, tenths, 11ths, 12ths, 13ths, 20ths, 30ths, 40ths, hundredths, thousandths, millionth, billionth, trillionth. It's not hard at all. Once you know that, you can name any fraction. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section and I'm going to attend to all of them. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.